those magnificent men in their flying machines. They go up to the up, up, they go down to the up, down.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all I have to apologise because I'm rotten with cold, full of it. So my voice might be a bit crackly or whatever, and if I sneeze or cough I'm sorry. But anyway, needs must. So I thought the other day I want to show, I did say I'd show practically every build of this kit. So we're on to making the servo mounts. As I said in the previous video, it should be just a rod that goes through, but we're going to do it the modern way as they call it, I think. So this is how it'll end up. Obviously, right, we'll go through it as best I can. I apologise if I make any mistakes along the way or make whatever. Right. So that's how it's going to end up. So as you can see on there, I'll try and keep it in the focus of the video because I don't have my lovely camera lady being my wife, I might add. So you see, you got that. I'll explain all that as I go. There's your mainstay. So you've got that. Keep it in the camera. Okay. Now, like I say, plenty of people have their own way of doing these things, but this is why I've never actually used these little servos. I think they're quite cute, these little things. So I've just sat up a bit of the night trying to work out how to do it the best way. Okay. Anyway, so there you go. So, right, that's that. Okay. So if I just remove that out of the way. Okay. So that was one I made earlier. This one I made today. Right, I'll try and keep it in focus. So basically, take a look at the servo. And on the servo, I'd look to see the depth between the screw holder and where the base plate's going to be. So it works out, that's 3.5 mil. So I've got a piece of scrap bolster at 4 mil. Now I'll explain why it's for 4 mil. Okay. So that's what I use for this particular servo. And then I found a piece of ply. So this is a bit of scrap ply. So there's many ways to do it. So I've done it so that I've got it to the edge there, so that there's the arm that's going off the end of the servo for the rods and that sticks out. Because this piece is just, I might add, to go on top of the main plate that screws to the wing. And you'll see why. So what I've tended to do after many moons of thought, like I said, is that you do it your own way if you want, but this is the way I'm going to do it. So you just get your piece of wood like so, put it up against it. Okay, so you got that there. Right, roughly cut it, it doesn't really matter. I use the scroll saw, you can use a razor saw, whatever, it's just for speed for the video. So, it's one of them. Okay, you got that. So you use your Sino, super glue, mitre glue, whatever you want to call it. Okay, stick it on there. So, oh, this is still in the video, yeah. Okay, right, so, you don't matter if you make a mess really, because I don't really care today. Right, let's got that on there, right? Just nice and flush, it doesn't really matter anyway. Talk to myself for a bit. So you get your second piece here. Okay. Just throw it in there. Just using the servo as a guide for the space. So I butt it up nice and not dead tight, but just enough. Okay. And mark it. Okay, just mark it now. Right. Okay, you got that. I'll try that. So you've marked just your area there. Colour roughly about the same length. Okay, scroll saw. See, there you got two ways to do this. So, because it's a piece of scrap. Right, you can. Right, this is quite thin. This piece of ply. It is really thin. So, this isn't really the one. So, okay. So what we do is we can either cut it with scissors because it's that thin, or we can do direct. Use a scroll saw. Okay. So we shall see. Right. Oh yes, lovely. Right. Okay, scroll up there. We're back. See what's in line there. It's always handy to double check and double check and all that jazz. Okay, so you got that there. See how it fits nice now, right? Okay. Right, so that's that. So you can some ways of doing this bloody thing and something. But I just tend to do it this way. So you got that in there. It sticks. Okay. Okay. Right. There you go. Right. Right up there. Okay. Just go over there. God. This is poo, really is. Right. Right. Glue it. You have to glue it there in the way. Okay. Piece in there. Okay. Stick it over this. Yeah, that's fine. Right. Okay. So if you really want to speed things up, just use your activator. Cheat, why not? Okay, you got that on, lovely. Right. Ready to scroll through that end off. Check it again. Okay. So far so good. That's what you cut off. Just to check. I know it seems a lot of hassle, but you know what? You know the golden rule is measure twice, cut once, as they say, you know? And it really is important to do that. So there you go. So you right, so we know that's going to be true. Take that out. Is it still in the camera? Yeah. Okay. Put it in. Oh Jesus! Right. Give it a bit of a spray. So that in so like so. Okay. It's that easy as getting there. And the same process. Talk about doing this live. Okay. So we have that bit. It looks reasonably sits in there nice and comfy on the servo. These in it. Okay. Now here's the thing. Right, you leave it at that. What I found is because of the gap between my ribs where I'm putting the servo on the wing. I might as well demonstrate it from here. You know, the gap between here and here, you're going to have to allow, like I did on there, you've got to allow for the arm that goes on the end of the servo to have space to travel. So I noticed this, because these are quite narrow ribs on this wing. So what I've done is I've got the back line here. So you just, I mean, I do a lot by eye because I'm used to it, but I mean, if you want to take your time and measure it, fine. So I've done it by eye here. So you got that. All will be revealed, you know, straighten up just for the sake of the video. Oh, right. So you cut that off. So that's now true to the form. Now, here you go. See? So it's in neat. Now, you might think, well, you're making all this when you could. I suppose you could just do it straight onto the actual main bit you're screwing up onto the wing. But the reason I chose to do it this way is because I wanted that, because it's so thin to apply and even a bit stick underneath, a bit of rigidity, you know, rigidity, so that when it's being operated whilst you're in flight, you know, it doesn't sort of bendy. Anyway, it's my idea. I mean, do it straight to the wing, exactly the same process, but I like it this way. Right, okay. So you've got that bit in now. So with the kit, with the servo comes with multiple choices. Comes with these little sticky pads. Okay. But that's why I said to use 4mm, not 3mm. So I did have one spare somewhere over there. Oh, I don't really care. Cold, isn't it? Scissors, I'll do it. So you get one of your pads. Okay, something like that. So you get your pad, don't you? Take that out. Your pad. These are quite clever little things. Right. Fiddly as you. And you stick it in, so there. So it's nicely neat in there. Okay. Peel the top end off. There you go. So your servo's impermanent now, which is good. Okay, that's what you need, right? Now then, so that's that stage. Let's get a shot of this. Okay. Right. Okay. So, and then come to the wing now. So you've made that base plate. A couple of things I want to remember is as well, because I'm thinking about it. Right, so we say you're doing this wing. It does help to actually have the aileron, the right aileron for the wing, so you've got it in the right place. Like on this one, you don't want to be making it so that the arm is in the wrong way, if that makes sense. Obviously, if you build it and you build the arm that way, and you've got your aileron connector that side, it's not going to work. So make sure you've got the right one. So obviously, in this case, my other wing I'm doing now. Okay, just so you know, just make sure you got the right one there. Okay, right. So that's that. But I'll use this wing as a demo because it does help. Okay, right. Obviously, I've made one already. Let's get back to this. Right. So don't forget, like I said, because I don't think I had it in camera then. Make sure that the aileron matches the right one with the servo for the horn. Okay, where the horn goes. So, okay, you got it. Right there. Talking to myself on the video. Yeah, good. Right. So that's that stage. So now we come to the wing. Okay. Well, I tell you about. I don't know where. There was. Sorry. Oh, right. Wing. So we'll come to the wing with a set of ribs that are going to be used to put the servo plate in. Okay. But I'll use, for now, I'm going to use just another, where it should be on the wing, you know. That's because I'm trying to get through this so I can do the middle section today. So you get your piece of ply, you've got preferably a piece of board. And what you tend to, this is just a scrap bit now, right? What I tend to do is, say this was going to be the area where you're going to put your servo plate. It's really simple enough. You build the plate, put it nice and square at the back. If it ain't square, just leave it on the ribs. This is how I do it anyway. So you basically get it on the ribs. Butt it up to the edges. Turn camera, yeah. And then draw around it. Okay? Right, there you go. Draw around it like so. Okay? That way you've got that. Take it away. Right. You obviously then cut out where you want. Now it doesn't matter if it doesn't fit exactly perfect inside between the ribs. In fact, that would allow at least a millimetre between the sides of the ribs. Because this is your base plate, okay? This is the bottom plate that the servo's going on. The reason I say that is because when it comes to covering it, and I'm using, it's called Oratex now, Solitex Oratex. It's quite thick covering, so you want a little bit of area, so when you cover it, it doesn't sort of mash up inside the wing, you know? So it doesn't really matter, about a mil. I mean, you can go as far as 2 mil if that's being brave, but there you go. Okay? So, here's one I made earlier. So what I'll do is, okay, so we've got that far. So, you've cut your piece, it fits in lovely to the wing, right? You've got it all in true, so it fits to the wing at the back. Okay. Right. Okay, so that fits in, see? So that fits in. Now what I've done as well is to make sure I got the servo in the right place. Okay, I knew I'd forget as I go along. Right, this is another piece of bite. This is just any old bolster that you can find, a piece of strip wood that I've bought out of stock. It's not in the kit, it just came with it, if that makes sense. So what you do is I always work my plates from the back of the wing aileron bit, you know, the main spar at the back and forward. So you just, it's the same old story. You get your edge. I tend to do it by eye. You just mark it there and there. Okay. But again, if you need a ruler, use a ruler. But I just cut it by eye. Right. So this is just for argument's sake. 9 out of 10. So it'll fit nice. Get a nice snug fit. And then what you do is you get. What I do, sorry, is because you're going to be screwing servo screws to hold the plate on. Any old bit of scrap ply, it's nice, doesn't matter how thick or thin it is. Again, this is what I tend to do if it's on there, yeah. Mark it round the bit you've just cut. Just cut it, yeah. See, pair of scissors, piece of cake. Okay. I mean, there's probably people out there, proper builders, professional builders that are going, what the hell is he doing? Right, this is the only way I know how to do it, and it works for me. So if anyone's got a better idea, please put a comment underneath and suggest it, because I'm not offended, believe me. There probably are 1,000 better ways, but this is it. So you center it on, okay? Right, obviously you sand that nice, like I've done with these. Okay, not that anyone's going to see it, but there you go. Okay, and the reason that's on there, as I said, when you put your plate on top, it's got something to fix to, because that's soft balsa and the screw's got a grip on their ply, okay? That's how I'll do it anyway. Alright, so it's there. Alright, that's that. So you make that one for the back, and then obviously you've made your length for your plate, and you put that on the other side as well. Okay, so it's on there. And I might add, if I get this servo a bit, what I did was, see, so I allowed space inside to play with it. Okay. Bizarre. Alright, so there's one, I always marked it so there was one at the back, so it's tight to fit there, if that makes sense. Now there's the thing, okay, you got your plate in there, is that on camera? Yeah. Okay, and you got your other plate, which is obviously is on the end there. Now, what you got to do is, you've got to bear in mind, this is why I made a bottom plate. Obviously that'll be cleaned up. You've got to leave, like on this one, you can see you've got to cut your base plate out, so you've got room for the horn to move up, the arm to move backwards and forwards. Okay, so I did that first. So if I just like clean this up a bit, okay. There it is. Right, so you've got to ascertain where you're going with this. Okay, so you got that. So that's how you do them, okay? Oh yeah, and then when they're in, preferably you do this next stage. Is you've done that stage first, you know, this one, you've done that first. Sorry, trying to keep it in the camera. Done that bit first, so you leave that. So you make these, sanded it, glue them in, and when you put them in, drop them down a little, work out the thickness of your backing plate that your servo plate is, and drop them below that, okay, so that they sit just under like they have there. If you can see it, so I'll try and get it more in the camera. That's very hard to do. See there, so it's not flush with the bottom of the rib, it's slightly in, so your plate will be flush with that. Okay, you can either measure it by using the plate and turn the wing upside down, put a marker pen on it, little pen, biro, or do it by eye like I did. So, to you. White glue these in, okay, then clamp them in with whatever clamps. I use these. These are the best clamps since I don't know, a couple of quid to buy. I get them from a local hardware shop, and a couple of quid, so they're ideal. Like I've done with other things, I've shown you. And then what I tend to do is here, ugly as it looks, it doesn't matter because it's not going to be seen, because this we've got covered wings would be green or brown, whatever one you want to call it. Okay, and then just to give it a bit more strength, you know, in case they move, you know, in flight or whatever. So it's just a bit of security on my part. You don't have to do it, don't want to, but I have. Right, okay, right. So back to the servo plate. Obviously you want to make the servo plates the same size. That does help. So once you've made your first one, use that as your guide, you know. Use that as here's one I made, Blue Peter type thing, you know. Right, so, and as you have made your guide, you cut it out. Saves a lot of hassle and a lot of time. Okay, so you just do that. Now you got one thing you got to bear in mind, when you cut this out, okay, it's going to be the opposite to the other wing. That makes sense. So you're not going to, if you're putting this in, say that's the side that goes there. I know this might sound daft, but you'd be surprised how many times you make silly mistakes because you're rushing or you're not thinking ahead, like me. So it helped to get the other wing. Okay, here's the other wing I made. See what I mean by clamping it in now? Okay. So that's how I clamp it in. So we'll just get rid of them. Alright, we'll work on the real wing now. The wing I'm using. Okay. So, at least for this video, you can fast forward it if you're bored. Okay. Right. Or even better still, turn the bloody thing off. Right. Come here, carefully. Right, so, bear in mind you're going to use your other wing, I always do, as a guide. But don't forget, you get your right aileron, it fits this wing, which happens to be this one. Okay? It's best to keep all this in mind, because if you don't, you could go wrong and it gets time consuming, and well, you know, it's a pain in the arse redoing everything for the sake of a mistake. Okay, so that's your long end. Right. Okay, so let's see, that's no good. So you've got the right end first. So it'll fit. Okay. So that's the end. Oh, excuse me. Right. God. Right, so we've got that. Bear in mind, your servo's got to go the right way. Yeah, I'm not joking when I say it's hard to concentrate when you've got a bloody cold. Right. Right, here we go. Right, put that in there. Right, so, okay. So it goes like so, okay. Right, so you have that there. So that's right, I'm just jacking it because no, my luck I'll do it wrong and make a fool of myself, as per usual. Right. Okay, that's the end it fits. Right. Okay. Right. That's that bit of wood. Okay. Right. Right. Well, I was right in the first place. Right. Typical me. Right. It's best to be safe than sorry. Right, let's check. You ain't right. Okay. Right, see you. So now, we've got that there, okay? So, you've marked it out where you want the road to travel, so it'll travel from there to there. So mark it out. Right, we'll just jigsaw this off. Okay. Right. Okay. So you have it there. Okay, so there you are. See, it's in line with that piece, it's going to be sitting there. Right, like on the other one. So you got that as your guide, okay? Right, there's your guide. You've marked it there. Get the other side. Okay. Right, and then what you do is you simply get your glue it on, like so, okay? And when it's set, have it lovely and dry. And it'll end up exactly the same as that one. Okay, so you got both together. Alright, and that's how you do it. Opposites match, you see. And that is basically it. I don't think there's anything else I can mention about it because it's done. So, and obviously, like I said before, with this, once you've got them in, you pilot drill your holes. But I would first make sure, just leave it in sitting, don't bother drilling any holes. Make sure you get your arm on. Plug the servos in and make sure everything's running nice, you know. Everything's running. And once you've got it in, just leave it tucked in, tape it in. So everything's running freely. You know what I mean? So you can see what's going on. Okay? Right. So that, I think, is about it. I can't think of anything else. If I've missed anything, I'm sorry, but I think I might be going to bed in a minute. Oh, God, what a day. Okay? Right, ladies and gentlemen. That's that bit. The next bit I think will be concentrating on the middle section of the bottom wings, so it's all in one piece instead of screwed in like it's on the plan. Oh dear, a cup of coffee I think. Okay, see you now, bye.
Those magnificent men, those magnificent men, those magnificent men.